Peace. What up? My name is Brother Legend. Welcome to the live. If you're joining us on YouTube, my TikTok is BIGBROLGND. You can join me there. My Twitter is the same, BIGBROLGND. Welcome to the live. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all those wonderful things to let the algorithm know that you're getting value from the content. I post my replays almost every day on YouTube. What's going on, y'all? What up? What up? What's going on? What's going on? We having another discussion. Hope everybody's been blessed. Hope the ancestors have smiled upon you. Peace, Tia. What up? Somebody let them know in the Discord that we live. What up? What up? What up? Peace, Leisha. Somebody says love knows no color. That is a lie. That's a lie. If everybody loved with no color, then we'd all be black. We'd all be black. That's my rebuttal to that. If love knew no color, we'd all be black or a light color of black. We'd all have African descent. What's going on? Sajes, what up? What up? Peace, Dior, what's good? Scoop, what's going on? I'm getting a lot of love in the comments. Peace to everybody. Pray everyone's well. Hey, we're going to have a discussion on Saturday. Me and Timothy, Black Facts Matters. We're going to have a discussion geared towards black masculinity and black men. Peace to you. Appreciate y'all. We're going to have a discussion about re-Africanizing black masculinity. If you want to know a little bit about what we're talking about, Ross, peace, brother. What's going on? And hey, Black Swan. We're going to have this discussion about re-Africanizing black masculinity. And if you want to know what we're talking about, check out Man Not by Tommy J. Curry. That's just a kind of like a framework, you know what I'm saying? A step in where we're going to start at, you know what I'm saying? The sisters are always welcome to join the discussion. But the discussion is geared more towards the brothers. I'm hoping that brothers will want to come up. We are going to be hoping that brothers will want to come up. We are going to be mindful of what we touch on TikTok. And we're going to continue the discussion in our Discord, b1initiative.org. b1initiative.org. We're going to continue the discussion there. There are certain things that are not appropriate to talk about in front of mixed company. You know what I'm saying? So, everybody who wants to come up, answer the questions, feel free. We are joined today by Lupita Nyong'o, Cornell West, Maya Angelou, and Claudine Gay, the ex-president of Harvard University, who sat upon the throne of chalk-based supremacy and was surprised when they dethroned her as soon as she spoke out against American imperialism. So actually, she didn't even speak out against American imperialism. Let me run that back. All she did was not defend or overly sympathize for those that are on stolen land where people want their land back. Yes, she was swiftly dethroned. Yes. And I wondered, I was like, why would a system even want to be the president of Harvard? That's what kept, itching in my brain. Just why would a sister want to be the president of Harvard? That makes no sense. There are graves to enslaved ancestors on Harvard property. I think one of them, I forgot the sister's name, but it was like Betty Negro. That was her name. Like, they didn't give her a last name. Her last name was literally the word Negro. And this is what it says on her tombstone. It says she was a loyal servant of some marshmallow man over at Harvard. Yeah. Yeah. Why would you want to be a president there? They found bones from enslaved people and over 20,000 indigenous Americans in Harvard. Why would you want to be a president? As a black person, I question anyone that even goes there for school, but I understand why some of us might want to do that. You get you a certificate that you can weaponize against the system, but are you really thinking that radical? Maybe. I'll give you that. Maybe. But why would you want to be the president there? Why would you want to not just get your degree and learn there, but why would you go there and assume that they will accept you and that you can somehow steer the ship meant to trample on your people? Like, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? So then I saw this picture. And it all clicked. It all made sense then. Then I was like, oh, okay. Because she thinks she won his acceptance, so she can win his people's acceptance. She thinks since I won his acceptance, I can win his people's acceptance. And they will love me the way he does. Because he's convinced her that she can fit in with him. I mean, it's wild how they got the same suit on. But anyway, that's what I think happened. Anybody have anything else to add? You feel free to come up, but I don't feel bad for the sister. I just feel like, she got Meghan Markle. If you want to go there with them, they're not going to leave you there for long.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Hey, welcome, D. What's going on, sister?
I just came up for the reset. Then I'm getting out the way.
All right.
Hello, you guys. I'm going to activate the Holy Spirit. Now, get yourselves together.
Thank you, D. Everybody, anybody that wants to answer the questions up above, are interracial relationships harmful to Black unity / progress? Is preferring to date another race a fetish? And can you be pro-Black with a non-Black spouse? I just seen a podcast talking about that topic. It was with Jim Jones. Jim Jones, right? The rapper Jim Jones. Yeah. So you can imagine how that went. Rappers are not known for their cognizance. What's going on?
I had to pause my TV. I was finna do my intro.
Okay, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Right? Because you got men coming up today, right?
Who?
The men, the brothers.
No, that's not today. That's Saturday.
Oh, okay. Then I can stick around. But let me activate the Holy Spirit. Give me my theme music.
All right. Let me bring it up. Hold on real quick. Here we go.
Hello, and welcome. We've activated the Holy Spirit earlier, so I'll activate it one more time. Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Hello, and welcome to Brother Legends Live. You guys, you are in Brother Legends Live. I need you to tap that screen. Tap. It's time to get active. I need you to tap that screen like that young man was tapping the screen earlier. Tap dancing. He was up there putting on his full poolery. I need you to tap and tap that screen. We need to get to 50K ASAP. but tap, tap, and tap in. You guys share the live. Invite your friends, your enemies, invite your friend-to-me's. But at the end of the day, go ahead and share the live. And guess what? I need you to get active and subscribe. Subscribe here and on Brother Legends YouTube. But most importantly, don't forget to join the Discord, b1initiative.org, where you can learn to be great. Bringing down Babylon. Donate $1, $10, maybe $1,000. But make sure you send us $1, y'all. Now I'm going to tap out. Y'all tap up and tap in. All right.
Peace. Appreciate you. Yes, y'all. We got the nonprofit up and running. If you want to contribute, $ bring down Babylon, hit the Cash App. Send something over. We're going to set up a subscription sooner or later. I would say in the next few weeks. We're doing work in the diaspora to educate children of their history. So we're doing something that's going to last a long time after we're out of here. And I think that's what makes our work important. But anyway, somebody came up here and left. They didn't have to, but they left. If anybody else wants to come up, feel free to come on up. Feel free to come on up and answer some questions for us. Yes, no, we'll send you a grade. We'll give you a grade depending on how much cognitive dissonance you have. Do you think interracial relationships are harmful to Black unity / progress? Is preferring to date another race a fetish? And can you be pro-Black with a non-Black spouse? Kira, we already know Kira on point. All right, Kira gets an A. Miss Sean always getting an A. Lovely, what's going on? Black Swan's getting an A. Alicia getting an F. Alicia getting an F.
I'm sick of
her. Lovely gets an A. Who else we got? Who else wants a grade? I don't even know what you said, Alicia. I just know. I don't even know what you said. I didn't even see your answer. You know, I really think I'm at the point now in these lives where, because I remember when I first started doing lives, like the request list would like pile up, and I think I'm at the point now where the people that be in here be the people that be in here. Tanya getting the A, absolutely.
Alicia said no, yes, no. What's my grade?
She getting the F. Alicia, I don't know if you be playing or you be serious. Scoops is getting the A. Sajas is getting the A. I don't know if Alicia be playing or not. I don't know. She like a Muslim in church. Watches on the toilet gets an F. Stella getting the A. Why is your name Watches on the toilet? That's weird. Jen gets an F. If anybody wants to come up here and answer some of their questions with a little bit more, elaboration, a little bit more nuance, feel free to request and come on up. Don't be scared now. Yeah, that's it. Everybody answered. Time Don't Stop gets an A. Who's me? Why are you saying me? Come on up. Let's talk about it. Yes, Gender Codes gets an F. Appreciate you, Kron. Don't be surprised by the F. The F just means you failed. That's all that means. Veer Bear, A. Dr. Robert, A. Oh, no, not that Jen. No, you good, Jen. You good. That Jen is good. Jen like Genesis is good. We talking about this Jen. What's going on, Jen Decode?
Hi.
Could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
Yeah, sure. I'm 42. I'll be 43 next month. She, her. I'm mixed with black and white. Was there another question?
I asked what your race was. You said mixed. That's not a race. So
I'm aware it's not a race, but that's what I identify as.
No, you don't. Because on no job application I've ever seen is mixed black or white or no.
2 or more races on a job
census.
application. 2 or more races.
Yeah, but we asked what your race is. So we're not asking what your parents' race is. We're not asking what her description of what your parents is. We're not asking for your lineage. How do you? Never mind. You know what? It's okay. Now we see why you got an F.
Because I didn't say what you wanted me to say. I know
No,
mixed
you didn't
is
answer
not a
my
race.
question.
I know
Mixed
black
is
is my race.
Mm-hmm. So what's your race then? So then what is it?
Black is my race. I know that. I'm saying what I identify as is mixed. That's why.
And why do you identify as mixed and not black?
Because my mother is white.
Always.
That's right. That's true. We understand. Hey, hey man, you gotta give it to them when they keeping it real. She said, "Cause my mama is white." Hey man, she keeping it real though. That's exactly why. If your daddy was white, then you know that you wouldn't be having the same confusion. But either way, we know that you want to be like your mother.
Confusion.
No, you got confusion.
You know nothing about me.
I know, but you just said a confusing statement. It's like if I say I'm straight and bisexual and I'm half straight, half bisexual, and then you're like, oh, you're confused.
Race is a social construct. The only reason that we have race
and see, that's the thing. That's the thing that people forget when they try to make it subjective. They try to take away the construct part of the construct. You know what I'm saying? Like Earth is a construct, right? This is the United States. I'm in the United States.
No, Earth is objective. So, Earth can be objective.
Earth is no, it's not. No, it's not. Earth is a construct. How is it not
objective? It's a truth.
Earth is a construct. No, it's not. If all mankind disappeared right now, there'd be no such thing as Earth.
That's not true. Earth was here before mankind. Do you not remember dinosaurs?
So you see, you're telling me dinosaurs was eating each other up and saying, "We're on Earth."
That's
Earth
not
is
what
where we are. You telling me little slugs and birds
is going around tweeting?
That's not what. We're on Earth, y'all. Tweet. This is Earth. Like,
you don't know the definitions that you're trying to speak. That's not what objective means. That's not what subjective means. Earth is objective. A tree is objective. A painting of a tree is subjective.
No, it's not.
Google the definition.
I don't need to Google shit. You need to. You Google the definition because people are laughing at you in the comments because you don't know what you're talking about. Like, Earth is a social construct. We are on rocks in space, and even then, there's no such thing as a rock with no humanity around. So
that's not
at the end of the day. All right. But let me get to my point, Jen, and stop talking over me. But let me get to my point, because that's the thing. I'm not up here to argue about Earth. I'm here to teach your black behind about the reason why you black, and nobody gonna see your other half. They only gonna see your black ass, and you black. But anyway, you don't want to be, so that's cool. So what I'm trying to say though is everything is a social construct, including the country that you're currently in. I am in America, right? United States of America. That is a social construct. However, people like to skip over construct and look at just, oh, it's social. It's just something that we can make up and change how we want. We don't need to follow the rules of anything. Except the thing is, I am in a place that was socially constructed named America. And that being the case, I cannot sit here and say I'm from Japan. You understand? Even if my parents are from Japan, I am American. So you having a black parent, according to the construct of race, Harvard has an article on this. I encourage you to look up in Google Harvard HYPODESCENT. Harvard hypodescent. Look it up. The way that race works, the way that race operates, if you have a black parent, you are black. Now, I know what your next rebuttal is probably going to be. The one drop rule is racist. No, the idea of race is racist. You having the one drop of black blood that makes you a black person, and your parent, your mom is not, your dad or whatever is not one drop. But that's like a lot of drops.
I'm saying I'm aware of the 1 drop rule. I'm aware that if you have a parent that is black, that you are black. I'm aware of
Then why do you not identify as black?
I don't identify as black because I am not treated in this country by how I look as a black.
You see how they try to weaponize our oppression against us and try to say I'm treated better than you, and that's the reason I'm not the same as you. There is no such thing as black treatment. Some of us are privileged in our phenotype. Some of us are privileged by our parents. Some of us are privileged in our bank account. Some of us are privileged. There's many ways to be privileged, and you can be monoracial and be just as privileged as a biracial person. There is no such thing as black treatment. You are not treated any differently because you are black. They don't look at you and say, oh, she's half white, let's treat her differently. They look at you and treat you with racism, whether it's light racism, diet racism, or regular old racism. It's just racism.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. I am saying that I am privileged because of what I look like. I do have privilege that other people don't have. Not because I want the privilege, but because that's how people see me.
She looks like a whole black woman. I don't know what you're talking about.
You look just like a light-skinned black woman. And you don't look that light-skinned, to be honest with you, but you look just like a black woman. We have far more black.
This is what I look like.
Yeah, this is me. You look black. Congratulations. Look at
you're just a light-skinned black woman with blonde, with that dyed their hair blonde and look as white as possible.
Your skin is, the more privilege that you have.
There's monoracial black people that look just like you, friend.
I know that I have one.
All right, so you telling me they're not black either? If both their parents are black and they come out looking like you, they're not black?
No, they are black, but they have
all right, so then why don't you identify as black? There is no difference between a biracial black person and a regular black person because we all have mixed genetics and we all have different phenotypes. We're the most genetically diverse people on earth.
I understand what you're saying. My point is that
my point is all right, here, let me give you some of my credentials because you just joined. You new here. Let me explain something to you. This is not something I'm debating with you. This is something I'm informing you of. If you want to check out b1initiative.org, check out our nonprofit, check out the work that I do. I'm not just your average brother. I'm not just some dude that comes up here to cause mess with other people. The scholar I looked up to, John Henry Clark, says, I only debate with equals. To all others I teach. Not trying to put you down in that regard, but what I'm trying to say is I've done enough studying to be able to dispel any type of mayonnaise you about to throw at me based on this racial social construct that you claim. It is a social construct. It's
not something I claim. It's the truth.
It is a social construct. I'm saying you claimed it because you know it to be true. But you know that anything that you can say to separate yourself from your blackness you might not know this. The truth is anything that you say to separate yourself from your blackness has more to do with how you look at black people and how you look at your blackness than it has to do with the social construct itself.
No, it's because how I've been treated by white people.
There is no separate treatment
by white people.
There is no separate. You have not been treated differently. There are black people that look just like you. You have not been treated any differently. You have not been treated any differently.
Anyway.
You have not been treated any differently. No, name one thing that happened to you that never happened to a black person before.
I'm sorry, I could not hear you.
Name one thing that happened to you that has never happened to another black person.
That has never happened to another black person. I can
because we all get treated the same. I
can tell you things that happen to lighter-skinned people that don't happen to darker skin people. I can tell you there's a wage gap, the same wage gap between white people and black people. That same wage gap exists between light-skinned black people and dark-skinned black people, and that is true.
No, that's not. That's
it is true. I work in DEI, and it is true.
It's not.
You can look it up anywhere. Just because you don't want to accept the fact,
it's not the same. There might be a more willingness to pay biracial people more.
No, I'm saying lighter skinned black people, not just even biracial. It can be biracial, lighter skin. Why do they get paid more than darker skinned black people?
They don't.
They do.
They don't. They don't. They might have access to more in certain areas. But the truth
That's the
is that
cognitive dissonance that you were speaking of. That's it, because you know you're wrong.
no.
That's the cognitive dissonance.
All right, y'all. She's not trying to hear this from a black N-word like myself. Oh man, I was gonna get one of the sisters to talk to her. It is what it is.
Drop?
Yeah, she dropped herself. That was corny. That was corny. To all the biracial people, y'all are not special because your mom is white. Y'all need to stop that. That needs to stop. Y'all are no special. That's not a thing. Y'all are treated. If you're treated as less than the status quo, then you're treated as less than the status quo. That puts you on our team. That's the end of that. White people don't wake up and have to when you ask a white person their race, they don't have to say, oh well, my mom and my dad and when white people look at the census, they just check white. They don't gotta sit there and think and hope that there's a box that say more than 2 races. Appreciate y'all for the gifts. And shout out to Stella. She sent them panther paws. We should have knocked her down. I got you, Stella, for the next guest. Next person get on Stella nerves. She gonna type something in the comments and then we're gonna knock the person down. I think she sent 5, right? I got so into that that I wasn't even paying attention. Don't get on Stella nerves, y'all. Y'all better treat her like royalty. Yeah, she sent 5. All right. Tia, what's going on, sister?
Good night.
Good night.
I don't really have nothing spectacular to say. Me and Black Swan have had a rough day. We have been fighting a good fight since this morning. We done got called out of our names, told that we ain't doing nothing. Yeah, it's been a long day.
Justin, that dude called Swan a crazy bee. And then the girl, so check out, y'all like, I don't know who she thought she was. That was so funny.
Yo, wow. I don't know how y'all got the energy to be doing all that.
Spent all her videos telling people about Google reviews, but one come tell us about how we ain't doing nothing and we waste our time trying to argue with people instead of teaching. I was like, girl, what is you teaching other than Google? Get off my line.
I just peeped. Did we hit the goal? Oh, y'all wilding. We hit the goal. Hey man, shout out to y'all, man. Big up to everybody that subscribe that hit the goal. I was way too into that conversation, but cognitive dissonance. The love of proximity. Go ahead, sister.
I was gonna say, I think my favorite ignorant comment of the day was the Scottish man that came up and told us that he had nothing to do with basically like racism wasn't his fault. And I asked him if he knew about his own history and how many Scottish people were enslavers, and he said no. And I was like, well, my last name is Scottish and I'm not like voluntarily Scottish. And they told me I should just change my last name. That was great.
Wow. That erases all the history. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he would like that. Yeah, just wipe it all out. Yeah, get that slavery off you that we did to you. Just change your name. That's ridiculous. Wow. That's how they are. Right, the Irish excuse. Yeah. Well, Black Swan, what's going on, sister?
Peace, brother legend. How are you?
Peace. I'm well.
Glad to hear that. Yeah, this morning was really interesting. There was another, okay, so it was I can't remember exactly what he was saying, but it was another gentleman that had came up and was claiming that he was indigenous to the land. He's the one who got really frustrated. It was just the intro, same thing that you just had with the back and forth, right? Like, I was like, okay, so, what's your race? And he didn't want to give his race. What did he say? He said, do you remember?
Are you talking about the one who said he was white and indigenous?
No, this is
from
Raymond.
Minnesota?
I think his name. Yeah. I can't remember exactly what he said. He was much older, but he got triggered the same way that the last guest that was just had the back and forth with you got triggered, right? And like the crazy part is that when they're engaged in that little back and forth, trying to separate themselves from being black, because that's what they're doing, right? They're trying to separate themselves from being black. And
Yeah.
They don't realize that their reaction is very telling, right? It shows us what living in an anti-Black society will do to you, right? Mentally, what it will do to you. Have you claiming things that you are literally not. And like he ended up getting to the point where he called me a name or whatever the case was. And I, like, for me, I didn't take it personal because I already knew that the problem is within him, right? Like he's the one that has the issue. And that's the same thing that we just witnessed with this girl. And the crazy thing is, like, even when we have the conversation throughout the day, when we were having the conversations with people on Kron's Live, a lot of the reactions that we saw from YT people, they respond in a way that shows us that they know racism is real, that they know it exists, right? Even though they're telling us that it doesn't exist, the way they go about responding tells us, the way they pivot or deflect or deny or, you know, they'll gaslight, whatever, tells us that they know it exists. And it's interesting because they don't see it while they're in that back and forth with you, but everybody watching knows what's up. Everybody watching can understand. And then for her to try to say, well, that's your cognitive dissonance. Like, no, we're watching you crumble right now. You're like playing the mental gymnastics that she just played, right? Denying her own reality to separate herself from her Blackness. And the worst part is when you look at the history of African people and you look at the history of European people, right? If you could pick, which one would you pick? Chaos and destruction or peace? You know what I mean? Like, it just, when you think about it, like, would you want to be on the side of destruction? I understand that people, like, I see it from a different perspective, right? We know that they have a privilege and benefits in society, but when it comes down to it, who they are at their very core and who they've been, I wouldn't want to be that. Oh, we can't hear you, Brother Legend.
Can't hear you, Brother
Your
Legend.
mic went out.
And Brother Legend been tussling with that mic for a smooth 5
Oh, we can hear you now.
Yeah,
Okay, so here's the thing. We use privilege too lightly. It's not even privilege. They're not benefiting. They're just more palatable to the oppressor. They're still oppressed. You know, it's like it's concessions. That's what my brother Gunner said. He said, you know, technically it's concessions. It is just you do receive less oppression, and you think that's privilege. Privilege is a power you don't know you have.
Oh no, I meant on the side of like European versus being fully YT, right? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're European versus like ancestors wise, just historically who they were as a people and how they operated as a people, like YT people, destruction, chaos, all of those things. But like we've grown up in a society where we think that that is what people should aspire to be or like sets the standard. But in reality, like that's not what we would want to be. You get what I'm saying?
No, I understand what you're saying. I was adding to it, to the point where she was coming up saying that she's not Black because she gets treated better than y'all because, you know, she don't look like y'all. Okay, she gets treated better, except she put it in a nice way. The way that you're treated and the way that your people have to, you know, work so hard and get paid so little. I could never claim to be one of you N-words. You know what I'm saying? I could never, I just couldn't do it. I would feel too bad. Like I'm censoring myself. You see what I'm saying? But really what she's saying is, listen, you know, that's me trying, you know.
Yes.
That's what listen.
That's the thing.
I'm sorry. I'm making fun of my sister, because if y'all ever see, I look just like my sister, so it's funny. I look like my sister. But anyway, yeah. So that's what she's doing. You know, she's trying to say that, you know, she actually benefits from Black oppression because she wants to, but she doesn't. She doesn't benefit from Black oppression. She is the recipient of Black oppression. She's just the recipient of less Black oppression in certain areas, because I'm sure she doesn't have white privilege where her she doesn't have to worry about the things that Black people have to worry about as far as generational wealth. I'm sure her father don't got as much generational wealth to pass down as the average white T man. I'm sure, you know, there's certain even if she became president right now, they would call her the first black woman president. They wouldn't say, oh, she's the first woman with a white mom president. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. And they probably wouldn't let her be president because she a black woman. Look at what they doing with Kamala Harris. They tell her she black all the time, and she wasn't even sure about that until recently. After she became our representative. But you know, so what I'm trying to say though is, yeah, at the end of the day, you know, that's a nice way of putting, you know, you guys have it so bad. I just, you know, I can't be one of you. And how you're treated is not who you are. They base blackness on poor treatment. That's what Meghan Markle did when she said she didn't know she was black until they started treating her a certain way. So they started mistreating her, then she's black. And that's people with white moms. That's what they do, because they want that proximity to their mother and they don't have that oneness with their mom. And so they resent their blackness for making it so that they are not the same race social category as her mom. And then the world will reinforce that by also vilifying, disenfranchising, marginalizing her because of her blackness. So she begins to really resent that black side that's keeping her from being pure vanilla milk. She wants to be Similac. So because she can't do it, she starts to only think of blackness in terms of how she's mistreated and vilified. And so she looks at y'all when we talk about black people and she says, I am different because I'm not treated as badly as you guys. Because treating you badly is what makes you black. And that is not the truth. That is not the truth. That is not what makes us black. Our people have the richest land, history, and culture going back thousands of years. That is who we are. We have a common land, history, and culture going back thousands of years. That's who our people are. A lot of us don't know who we are, and a lot of white moms not going to tell you who you are. Black mom, shout out to the black mothers, man, because even when y'all with the milkman, you're going to tell your child who they are.
But that's why I'm so confused about how Meghan Markle came out like that, because she claims her mother is her best friend, and I want to say they from like some inner city part of California. I was very confused at her comments, but
yeah, it is confusing.
But yeah, she doesn't realize it. She can't see it. The last guest you had, it's unfortunate. It's sad to watch because she was sitting up here crumbling. It's really sad.
Meghan Markle has what Claudine Gay has. That's the same thing I was talking about earlier. Claudine Gay feels like she would be accepted by white patriarchal institutions like Harvard because she has a white patriarch at home. And she feels like she convinced his heart so she can convince the hearts of other men that look like him. And that's what Meghan Markle's mom had, was, I'm going to tell my daughter that she can go and be the queen, or potentially the queen, but the princess of a historically extremely racist patriarchal institution. And, because she has a white father, I feel like I can win them over. I know that she's safe with them as well. And that's I believe the reason Meghan Markle felt, that she could blend in.
They don't realize that. Well, what does Aaron call it? You know, Aaron. He's the one that always has all the names lined up, one right after the other. He just spits them out. Yeah, he says the illusion of inclusion. It's an illusion that you're going to be included, but in reality, I mean, for me, I would say you're putting yourself in proximity to danger. That's how I would view it. Because look at what happened to her. It was inclusion. Like
danger, though.
It's been destroyed.
Did you see But did you see also the danger she's in? Like, they're not paying for bodyguards for her now after she's world famous. Like, people that never heard a Beyonce song know who Meghan Markle is. Yeah. Like, she's world famous, and there's wild people in this world, like, that will do anything to her and have hatred because of her blackness, corrupting that shiny white throne.
Yep.
Yeah, like, that's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And look what they did to Diana, you know? Like, you think they won't do that to her? Kaye, could you give us your age? Oh, I guess you really don't have to do that, sister. I'm sorry. That's literally a habit for me to just say that. But go ahead, sister. What's going on?
Oh no, you good. You good. I could have gave it, but I can't believe y'all gonna sit up on Cat Williams' internet and tell me I'm not special. As a white and black person, I feel offended. I was really trying to get up here for sister. I wanted to talk to her. I'd be like, listen, baby girl, my mama white too. And I don't know nothing kid and caboodle you got going over there, baby, because what?
Right. We needed you up here.
What? I was
sister.
like, dang, it's like she really just battling with herself, though. Like, who are you trying to convince? Us or yourself? We just strangers on the internet, baby. Like, there's no skin off our nose. Like, I was really like, dang, I'm glad I was never that gone. Like,
yeah,
I can't get back. Hey, we in a sunken place for real with that one. Bring out the teacups. Because we need to get her back. But nah, I was just coming up here to, talk to y'all because I was trying to get her, but she ended up leaving. I wish she would have stayed. It was nothing but love. That's why we was trying to talk to her. She don't understand. Like, we not coming from a bad place. We coming from a place of understanding, but she was just so defensive that she just had to say that, you know. It's like she came up and immediately asserted her whiteness. And I was like, man, you don't have to do that here. we not them. But yeah, I felt I want to say I feel bad because you enabling it, but like, hey, if you like being in proximity to danger, go ahead. I understand. That's your family, not poor Tink Tink. Yeah, that's her family. That Tink Tink family. I can't. It's hard to do that. Try to disown half your family. See how you feel after. Look, it ain't fun. I won't lie. It ain't fun. But yeah, no. Our interracial relation. I was trying to see what my grade was gonna be. Yeah. Look, our interracial relationships harmful to Black unity. Absolutely, we know that answer. Is preferring to date another race or fetish? Yes, unless you're Black and preferring Black people. Can you be pro-Black with a non-Black spouse? Bruh. Of course you can. Of course you can help the community, but sleep white. I mean, who are you, the father from Good Times? Of course. Look,
I just found that out.
Oh, you did? Yeah, they killed him off because he was in the boardroom criticizing the scripts for being stereotypical.
No,
but here he go home.
That his wife.
Yeah, his wife is white, and they have like 3 or 4 black biracial
James.
kids.
Not James.
Yes, James.
James.
Yes, James.
I just found that out this morning.
Y'all lying, not James.
We're not lying.
Yeah.
They ended up unaliving him from the show because he was criticizing the scripts. But meanwhile, he just went home. He just went back to his family. Man,
I just want
tragic.
Y'all to know that this is very anti-Black. What y'all doing here, ruining James?
James he was ruined when we bought him. What do you mean? Like,
I'm just joking.
Nah, I know. But yeah, that was really heartbreaking, finding out a lot about in today's time when it's so easy to Google. It's so many things you thought were true, and then you be like, what? You have to rewrite your whole playlist. Take them out.
Wait, hold on. Stella just said she had a crush on James. How you have a crush on a man whose hairline back here like this? How you do that? That's crazy. Listen, I don't know how. I'll never understand how women find men attractive. Like I don't get it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he was like 38 looking like 52. So I'm with you. He really was like 38 looking like 52. It was stress. He was already he was fighting the demons at work. Then he got to go home and lay up with one. Oh, baby, that's a hard life. That's a hard knock life.
And it was smooth bald, like not even like balding. It was just gone. Like he had like the walls of Jericho, like looking hair right here. But real quick, Kaye, we're gonna need you to be a contributor to our Sankofapedia. I'm gonna put the website up, and you have so much knowledge on some of this, and even on some of the scholars and books that you've read. It would be an asset for you to kind of be able to journal or jot that down for the website. It's like Wikipedia, but it's for Afrocentricism and African scholars and just works, black people.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely. I love to. Hook me up. Cook me up.
all
I
right.
like string beans. Ice Cube and that. Look, give me the string beans. What y'all rationing around here? Yeah, of course. Of
Because
course.
you've been able to like add value to the lives. Every now and then you teach me some. Are you in the Discord as well?
I am, but I think I was having some issues because every time I try to say something, it ain't up there. Like I tried to put some stuff about, I think even a book a while ago, and I can't see it for some reason. I don't know what's wrong, but
Okay.
maybe I need to.
So I might be able to fix that. I'll find your profile.
Okay, good. Thank you.
But yeah,
Thank
you're one of the people I thought of. I want to send you so that you can contribute in your free time, whatever as you learn something, you can jot it down for other brothers and sisters to learn from it as well.
Oh yeah, I actually have a few not to toot my own horn, but I have a few publications through some of my college courses that the teacher felt was good enough to be a scholarly peer reviewed essay. So if you I could drop some of those in there too if you'd like me to.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, we want anybody that's got publications, anything that's been published, we're gonna have to, of course, vet it. But if anybody wants to drop that on the website, it's a grassroots version of Wikipedia that will have a unapologetic telling of African history from the perspective of Africans, and also have knowledge of scholars, spiritual leaders, even entertainers. We're gonna have entertainers on there. You're going to be able to use this website to get to the bottom and verify a lot of the history and education that they leave out of textbooks. We're going to put it all in one place for y'all. It's called Sankofapedia. If you want to donate to the cause, we have a nonprofit set up to keep it running. $ Bring Down Babylon. And we're at the phase now where we're going to need contributors to help build it before it goes live. Oh yeah, Tia, you already on the list. Oh, you want to say something? Go ahead, Tia.
Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier and was curious to know if you knew about it, so I figured I'd share. I don't know if you knew about this book, but there's a Nigerian sister. I kind of think of it as like an Afro spiritual book series, but it was really, really good. And I heard that they're making a movie out of it. The third book in the series is dropping later this month. The first one was called Children of Blood and Bone. It's really, can you hear me? Oh my God,
yes, I hear you.
have you ever heard of it? The
No, I
first book
haven't.
is called Children of Blood and Bone. I forget what the second book is called, but I think it's set in Nigeria, but it's almost as if there are like these bloodlines of Black people that have different spiritual powers, and they are fighting like uh I guess like colonial people that are coming in almost. And some of them are being trained, like they're different factions of them based on what powers they have, and they're being trained by like elders, and then they end up having to like fight or whatever. But it's all like African centered. But the book, I read the whole first one. I'm like in the middle of the second one. And I already pre-ordered the third, but it's really, really good. I don't know if anybody else has heard of it, but I heard they're making a movie out of it. I don't know if the movie will have parts or if it's gonna like wrap it all up into one.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check that out. That sounds well, you already know where to drop it.
Yeah, I'll put it in the Discord.
Yeah, and I guess I'm trying to think. I can't think off the top of my head, but I might have to make a section for books as well. Oh yeah, you do have the book club. So if you think that's a recommendation, maybe we could do it for the book club. It's up to you. It's up to
Yeah,
you.
I wasn't sure because it's not educational, but it's like, fiction, but it's Afro-centered fiction.
Oh, it's fiction.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Afro-centered fiction.
Interesting. Okay. I'm interested to know more. It's up to you. If you want to curate the book club list, whatever. I trust your palate. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen many people be able to slip some mayonnaise by you. I've seen Yeah, you usually catch the mayonnaise. So if you see any, go ahead and put it in the Discord. But yeah, all right. So we're not getting enough participation, brothers and sisters. We got to get to 50K likes. So tap like, tap like, tap like as you listen along to let the algorithm know that you're getting something out of the live. If you have something that you want to say, but you cannot say it in the comments, feel free to come up here and join us. Speak your piece, answer the questions. Are interracial relationships harmful to Black unity / progress? Is preferring to date another race a fetish? And can you be pro-Black with a non-Black spouse? We have some leaders that claim to be pro-Black. However, they did not choose to be pro-Black in their love life. Do the two have to align? I think what's beautiful about Pan-Africanism and pro-Blackness in general is that it is it's an objective more than an ideology. But as an ideology, it holds people accountable. And that's part of the beauty of Black consciousness, is that it holds people accountable even in their personal life, to being part of the solution. You can't be part of the solution and be married to the problem. So that's just how that works. You can't be prioritizing your significant other, but also prioritizing your community. Unless your significant other is part of your community, then prioritizing them is only a reflection of how you feel about your community. But if who you love is a reflection of how you feel about your community, then you ain't really focused on us when you marry a non-Black person. But that's all we're saying. We're not up here to say that who you love is wrong. We're not up here to judge you and tell you what to do. Some people tend to feel that way when they come on this live, or feel like we're bullying them, telling them what to do. We're not doing any of that. Actually, we prefer people not to even think that you can tell someone else what to do with their life. But we will tell you what you're doing is not benefiting the Black community. We will tell you if what you're saying is harmful, and we have that right. That's just that. If anyone feels, yeah, go ahead.
For any of the people who were like part of liberation movements who dated or married out, do you know of any instances where they were like checked about that, or like somebody, you know what I mean?
Checked about it,
or like called out, like because I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like I can't trust nobody when I find out that they married out. Like, I don't want to say you throw the baby out with the bathwater, but I can't look at you the same. Like, I'm taking everything with a grain of salt. Because like you said, how you gonna tell me that that's the enemy, but you going home to it? It's weird.
I don't think, because we not like them. You know what I'm saying? We're not like them. Like, we don't. So like, we'll see it and just say, all right, but we'll accept you for what you say about us, but we're not going to hold you to the highest regard. But I know Maya Angelou's the only one I heard that I can think of off the top of my head that spoke about it. She said someone came to her and said, you're in an interracial relationship. I don't believe in those. I don't know how you could do it. Like, I forgot the question, but it was like, do you believe in interracial relationships? And Maya Angelou responded and said no. So that was her answer, was I don't believe in them either. Yeah. So she knew it was a contradiction. That's what someone says when they know they're contradicting themselves, right? Like, they just act like it's not happening. So
yeah, I will say, I mean, she definitely is spicy. I seen somebody ask her a question, and she said, "It's Dr. Angelou," and they was like, "Oh, okay," and she was like, "Well, I mean, I could understand because you earned that title, but obviously the woman who was asking her the question didn't mean it, and just trying to ask her a question, but I was like, hey, she definitely a habanero. Hey, I'm with you, but that is very contradictory. That is very.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're making movies like The Color Purple and like I don't know, writing think pieces on our people and all this other stuff. Like it gets kind of messy. It's like, man, we're holding you up as a leader in our community, but you really not for us in the bedroom. So that's kind of wild. Black consciousness, a brother came up, Lab Tech Quan came up here the other day. He said Black consciousness is a rejection of white supremacy and a retention of Africanness or something to that effect. So when we retain African culture, our African roots, but also reject white supremacy, that is Black consciousness. This is not Black consciousness because she's accepted white supremacy because we are still under a white supremacy. So now if white supremacy had gone away and she did this, might be a little different. She's still in the context of her oppression. It's still going on in the backdrop of this relationship. So she has accepted it. Lupita has accepted it. Cornell also, I have to say he's accepted it too because she's treated as a white woman. She's Palestinian, you know. So I think he's trying to get extra points with that, but in the day, still accepted it. Maya Angelou also accepted it. So
Well,
I gotta have because I should have more brothers in here. I just realized how it's 3 sisters and 1 brother. Maybe that's my bias. I gotta have another brother over here. I think before I had Audrey Lorde over here. That's why that was like a different thing. But yeah, I'll switch it up. I'll add somebody new. Anybody else want to join? Feel free to come on up. Come on up and talk to us. Actually, I might change the topic too. We had a good topic the other day, but I was kind of afraid that, you know, TikTok might not like it. Yeah, I knew as soon as Harvard too, because I actually considered getting a degree from there, and I was like, nah, that's kind of wild. Not like not as a validation of whether or not, you know, I'm a, you know, smart person or whatever, like not as some sort of validation, but to be able to operate in a certain way in scholarly places. I was like, would it be an asset to have a degree from there or at least a certificate? And I decided against it because I'm like, the history of that school versus what I'm trying to do, it ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
You made
It
me
ain't
feel
gonna
bad.
work.
I feel like a terrible Black person now.
Why? Because you went to Harvard?
No, my grad school is problematic when it comes to Black people.
Well, yeah.
Real problematic.
But did you do it? Did you do it as a means for survival, or did you do it because you really believe in the institution?
Oh no, I didn't give a F about the institution. I mean, other than the fact that it was ranked well for the program I wanted, but I wanted to make myself more marketable in my field. That was the reason for the degree. It wasn't the reason for the school.
Yeah, and that's how I looked at it as well. But then I was just like, nah, because, you know, what I'm doing with this nonprofit and everything else, I'm like, it's not going to add up. Like, I don't want to be Harvard educated legend coming up to speak to Black people. That's not.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
because
makes sense.
like I feel like all of the PWIs are problematic, but my thing is Harvard has been highly problematic and contributory to the historical disadvantage and disenfranchisement of Black people in almost every avenue: political, medical, financial, economical, like all of them. They set the standard for what they think medical racism is, literally. Yes, ma'am.
I went to Hopkins for my master's degree.
Oh Lord.
It don't get too much.
Goodness.
Yeah, look at brother.
Hey.
Don't boot
well,
Discord.
never mind. You might have got you up there with him. Nah, look.
I told you, highly problematic.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all sisters be doing it. That's the amazing feat for black women is that y'all, like, I found, have more resilience to, and I'm not feeding into that stereotype, but just like to be able to graduate in these schools after you know they disrespecting your people, know they disrespecting you, and you still know that you have to do what you have to do out here. Like, that's the thing. We could talk about all of this stuff, but all of us compromise at some juncture. Like, there's no way you're pro-black in this world all the time. I have to buy toilet paper at some point. I think there is a black toilet paper
There's like
company.
6 of them. Freedom Paper Company makes paper products. They make toilet paper, toothpaste. They make paper towels. There's one that's in Target. It's called Real, like REEL. That's a black-owned one. There's another one that's in Baltimore that's called Latour or something like that. There's like 6 of them that make black toilet paper, black-owned toilet paper.
Okay. The reason I brought up toilet paper is because that's one of the things Marcus Garvey talked about. Back in his day, they didn't have that, and even today, it's not. I didn't even know this, and I live in this space. I didn't even know that, but I heard something about it. I just didn't. I still ain't even actively like. I need toilet paper. I'm going around the corner and get some toilet paper. I'm not about to go on the internet, but I do think we should have a part of the Discord where we list those companies, not just toilet paper, but like other black-owned businesses that you can buy toiletries and other, things that you need around the house.
Yeah.
But anyway, T-Dub, if you could, please. That would be fire. But also, I think it's still impossible. At some juncture, you're going to have to compromise between what's best for your people in the long term and what's good for you in the short term. Until we're all in Africa on our own land, making money remotely off of our own business, I think that's as independent and non-problematic to your own community you can be. And then still giving back to the people in that land. Like I guess that's as close as you could get. I don't know. That's what me and my wife are going to go try. But other than that, you probably have either a white landlord, a white-owned bank you pay your mortgage to. You definitely pay taxes on everything you buy, and you have to pay taxes even if you own a house.
We have unalived cell phones. The new Galaxy Unalive, like all of the cell phones are based in the, a terrible instance, and we need them to communicate. Right. It's like, I was just about to say, it no matter what I do is like just existing. But I can't blame us because we just operate out of the system for survival. We don't have a choice. We were thrust into it. Like, so we doing it for the advantage. I'm with you. Play the game now. So in the end, you ain't even got to play games no more,
Right.
I got a B in my class on nanotechnology in grad school because I scrapped a fully completed presentation to do a presentation on melanin that was like all black slides and showing black people to a classroom full of white people and a white professor. Let's just say they didn't like that. They did not like that presentation at all.
Wow.
But it was the blackest moment I've ever had. I would gladly take that B for how I felt after I was done with that.
That's fire, man.
Hey, they gave you a B? Wait, Tia, they gave you a B? Nah, see me, I'm one to go and be like, nah, I'm going ahead and protest this grade. I feel like it was unjust. I'm one of them because I
could tell in their eyes they felt some type of way because I started the presentation explaining to them that melanin was one of the reasons for why we look the way we look. So I had slides of like them and then us, and then I explained about how melanin has all of these special properties because it has electrical properties, like it makes things stronger. It was the first superconductor, all these different types of things. So implicitly what I was saying is that we're better than you. And that was over well. So.
But no, you said it in a scholarly way. So I don't know why they're mad. They tell us we're barbaric animals in a scholarly way. So
they sure do.
So that's why I'm with you, baby. I would have went to the top and been like, nah, I felt discriminated against on his grade. How come Becky Sue can do something about, reverse racism, but I'm telling you the truth and that's a problem. You want to give me a B. Like one of my teachers tried to do that. Like, it's like, I'm with you, because the thing about the institutions, it's like if you shine a little too bright, then they're questioning your authority. They're questioning the basis of how you've done it. Well, did you use AI technology? Like, bro, what? Bro, be
in
real.
undergrad, I had a professor write on my exam that they thought I cheated because I did too well.
Yeah, bro, I feel
like literally wrote it on the top of the exam.
I had to go to the academic integrity board because my teacher felt like I used artificial intelligence. And I just went in there and scrambled them, because I was like, baby, you can't, it doesn't matter how you feel about what you think I did. What do you have the proof for? You should know this. You coming up against somebody who's trying to go into law. I made that case so good that she will never question me or bring me there ever again, because there's no way you can prove that I was using any of that. The AI technology and the things that they put it through now that they're trying to use to tax us even more, it's like they said that the Constitution of America was written by AI. So tell me how infallible it is to detect this. And I brought articles and everything, and she was like, I'm like, yeah, because you can't prove without beyond a shadow of a doubt that I did that. I'm like, I'm gonna have to, it's like I got to do extra. And then I had to go through, whenever I submitted an essay or anything, I had to put it through the tracking for Word, Microsoft, so they could track me typing it. Because I'm like, this is crazy. Like, nobody else in here had to go through that. Like, you really trying to tarnish my grade. But I'm like, she just mad because I'm on the dean's list. Keep it real. Like, it's just crazy they do that.
Period.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been in school since AI was popular, but I've definitely used AI. I have to also integrate it into our website. That's some things I'm working with right now. That's wild that they really got like a scanner for that. Like, I seen that they said Kanye used it on his apology to the Ish people.
Man, so did Shia LaBeouf. He took his apology from 2012 and he took it word from word from a Yahoo answer. So why we don't hear about them? I'm so serious. I said, why we don't hear about them doing it? Y'all just want to bring it up. What about Melania Trump? Whatever her name is. Mulatto, whatever. Tomato Trump. How is she copying word for word Michelle Obama's speech, but y'all don't say nothing about why is it just plagiarism and things like that when y'all want to confront something? Like, y'all don't care that much about that, especially not with legacy scholars, especially not with legacy entrances. I'm like, didn't we just hear about a lot of them celebrities that got caught up because they was paying for people to get their kids into these schools and passing? But y'all want to come at me, the underprivileged, the barely even able to afford to be in this room with y'all, and say, "No, see you right here." Like, bro, you got your forefront on the wrong attention. I mean, for real, it's like I don't understand that. And then for us to come in and we do it better, I think that's really about to be mad. Like, how y'all graduating at a higher rate than other folks, and we barred you in every single way to even get here. We made sure your family was messed up. We made sure you ain't had no money. We made sure that you was lost in these streets. We made sure you lived in a food desert. But somehow you still in here? Oh no. I mean, for real. I don't understand, It really don't. We're the most educated. Like, we can't all go to HBCUs, but still the penalties.
Y'all should be the leaders in every field. And that's the thing where I'm like, I'm gonna have to teach my child the skills to pay the bills. And then I'm gonna also have to teach them, that, they're gonna have to be educated, but and how to educate themselves rather, how to read books, to be able to determine what's true, what's not, use sources. That's what we're burdened with, because you can't take your children to these schools. Like, and then going to these schools, it's as a mean for survival. Yeah, I get it, but they're not going to. It's a certificate to work. That's all it is. It's a certificate to work, but they don't got no jobs for y'all. Because if they did, every black woman y'all should be the most employed demographic, right? If you're the most educated demographic, should you not be the most employed demographic? Isn't that supposed to be how it works? You go to school, you get a certificate so that you can get access to jobs that other people can't get. So So why is there still so much unemployment with black women? Like, there's still a lot of unemployment with black women. Y'all got more
And underemployment.
employment than black men, but compared to everybody else, y'all are still behind.
And underemployment, because that meritocracy that they like to preach about doesn't actually exist.
Mm-hmm.
They just use the degrees and certifications to make sure that we can't qualify, because that's a legal way for them to keep us out. Now, the problem that they're having is more of us are getting the different types of degrees. So they got to come up with more creative ways to make sure that you don't meet the mark. And one of them is publications. That's where a lot of black people are struggling. And that's why a lot of them are not staying in academia, because they're requiring publications that they make it incredibly difficult for black and brown people to get. So they end up getting these doctorates, master's degrees, and whatever else, and then make it nearly impossible for them to get published, because this is now something that's beyond your control. It's not just about your personal production. It's about your peers, or like the review board or whatever in your industry, saying that whatever it is that you produce is worthy enough to be, publicate or a publication. And that is where you get a lot of drop off with us. So we end up doing all of that for absolutely nothing, because now they're like, oh, we want 20 publications for you to be tenured, or for you to be eligible for this, that, and the third. And they are struggling to get it. And it's not because they're not qualified. It's not because they're not smart. It's not because they're not doing the work. It is because of racism.
Wow. So you're telling me if I wanted to publish a book right now, is that different than, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I wanted to publish something?
Yeah, that's different, because you can self-publish a book. But like those scholarly reviewed like articles, like I forget what Harvard's thing is called, but the ones where you have,
JSTOR.
yeah, those types of things where you're like, if you were to write a paper about like anti-racism or something like that, that needs to be peer reviewed, so it can be like an official publication that people can like cite or whatever, that it has to go in front of people like other like renowned people in that field or whatever, for them to say, critique, and to get your sources and all the other kind of stuff, for them to say is worthy of that. And so that's where a lot of black people are getting caught up.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I know this because
I didn't know that existed.
Part of the reason I know this is because I used to work at the National Science Foundation. So I used to interview a lot of the universities because of the funding that they were getting. So when they get the research dollars from the different the government agencies or whatever, it's basically like checking in to make sure that they're using the money the way they said that they were going to use it in their proposal, and that it's being effective, like the program that they're running is being effective. So we had to interview the researchers, and then we also interviewed the students. There's always a huge difference between the two, because they always will say, well, the reason why we don't have black professors is because there are not enough people getting the degrees. But then they made programs to make sure that there was more funding for black students to get those degrees. Those numbers have gone up exponentially over 25 years. You know what number hasn't changed in 25 years? The number of black professors. So it's not because they don't have the credentials. It's because y'all are not hiring them. Y'all are making their workspaces and their environments difficult so they don't stay. And what the game is right now is the publication thing. So when you talk to the students, it's a completely different story. Completely different story. So they end up bailing and switching, because there's no point in them staying in academia, because they won't get paid. They won't get tenured. They won't get no money, so they leave that to go work private, even though they've gotten the degree. So I won't say they wasted, but they spent a lot of years, chasing credentials that ultimately might make them overvalued in the private workspace, because a lot of these jobs don't want to pay for people with PhDs, because that's too much money. So it makes them less marketable in the private job market in a lot of ways. And that's also something that a lot of black people, not just black women, are contending with. They are underemployed.
Yeah, I wish I had a publication in a higher level, but I mean, even to get one, like, it was really hard, because like I wrote one, and again, of course, it was about structural racism's adverse effects on health, social, and cultural needs of African Americans in America. But even then, it was like highly scrutinized. Like, I had to keep going through several times and adjusting based on what my teacher and then the peer she got to review it to actually get it published. And I only got it published in the Shakespeare and Darwin journals. They have like several volumes. I'm in volume 5, issue 2. But still, it's like even to go through that, I had to jump through hurdles, and I even had like a meeting with the dean to be discussing it because it was like, well, we're just trying to make sure that we got our ducks in a row and how it's looking because the school doesn't want to publish something on their own journal and volumes that makes them look bad. And I'm like, okay, obviously I didn't even ask for you to publish it. Like they took the piece and was like, hey, we want to. But now it's like, now that I said yes, they're like, well, we just need you to go through and, we're going to edit this and make sure that these citations are correct. And then we're going to make sure that the abstract and things are correctly, exactly precise for the number of words you need in it. And I'm like, bruh. Just to get it, like, don't get me wrong, like, it's an honor to have that, but it's still, like, it's pretty demeaned when you go through the process of even trying to get it. It's kind of convoluted. If you got money, you can publish a book. But this, like, it doesn't matter how much money I have. Like, well, maybe it would if I had a different skin tone, but, it was a process.
Now they measure people by the number of publications now, not your degrees. So it's not to say that a PhD is not worth anything, but it is to say, oh, you have a PhD, but you have publications. So you worth more if you got publications. That's the real key.
Yeah, that's why I took it. That's why I jumped through all them hoops, because this will get my foot in the door to be able to actually get, maybe not in the system of Harvard's, let's say, but maybe at least on the spectrum of other colleges' publications, because they have like databases that they use. So there's way more than just JSTOR, and then other ones that are like medical and things. But it's like crazy how much I have to go through. It's like at times it doesn't feel worth it because it's a lot of pressure. Like, it really is. And these things are, like, really long. Like, this was 10, 12 pages, I think, of writing. Like, imagine going through that so many times. Like, I'm proud of it, but it's like, man, like, y'all keep wanting to take stuff out or edit it, and I'm like, I ain't changing it, though. Like, unless it's a technical part where the citation or the reference is off, I'm not changing this. Why? Like, what's the point of publishing it? I thought it was supposed to be what I said, right? But still, it's kind of sad. Like, all the hurdles you really do have to jump through. And even still, that's not enough. If you're not saying the right things, right?
That's wild. Yeah, because I did plan on publishing some research papers, but I planned on doing that on my own. And I'll give a damn with Shakespeare. Would you say Shakespeare and
it's the it's the Shakespeare and Darwin journal.
Yeah, Darwin, Shakespeare.
It's the Da Vinci. The whole journal is called the Da Vinci Academic Journal.
Da Vinci, Shakespeare, Leonardo, all them folks. It kiss both sides of my
Nobody
ass.
that look like us. None.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you putting. That kind of offended me. You know what I'm saying? Talking about they putting Shakespeare and Darwin on a black woman's research paper. That just don't even sit right. Like even if you want to make a paper, in order for you to publish it, we gotta put two white men's names on it.
Front. They put it in front. It literally reads the Da Vinci Journal Academic Volume 5, Issue 2, Edition 2, and then it says Structural Racism, Adverse Effects on Health, Social, and Culture of African Americans in America. That's the whole title of it. I'm like, bruh.
Nasty work. Nasty work.
Like, bruh. And then not that my name isn't on it, but they make sure, you know how like right up under the title it has like the date of when it was published and you could leave a comment, and the people who published it, they made sure to put Shakespeare and Darwin. And then you scroll down and then there's my name.
That's crazy. And Darwin is crazy. Somebody said in the comments, Darwin is crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, he
Darwin
crazy.
Very
That's
racist.
Wild, ain't it?
Yeah,
this is our first piece about racial tension. Let's get it. Look
like. Let's get it. It's crazy.
Wow. Well, shout out to Black women, as I said, putting up with that mess. A lot of brothers, we don't make it that far because, Dr. Jawanza Kajufu talks about how after a certain age, Black boys begin to realize this ain't working out well for me, is it? Like, we're heavily punished in school, like easily just sent to detention. I noticed that because I went to a predominantly white school in high school, and I would go to detention and it was all boys, and all the boys in there would be black or Hispanic, and I was just like, like, that's interesting how. And then I was going along with it, and I just really realized, why don't the girls ever end up in detention? And we used to have 3 hours of detention. If you messed up in school, you would stay on Friday for 3 hours in detention. And everyone would go home, and your behind had to stay in detention for 3 hours. Yeah, I went to a private school, and I just used to wonder, like, how come, Megan and Melanie, like, how come they don't ever, not once ever, have I seen any girl in detention with us? It's always us. And I got in trouble for laughing during lunch. I literally got in trouble for laughing. One of the girls, white T girl, whose parents owned a lot of property in the city we were in, probably donated a lot to the church that ran the school. She was offended that I was laughing, went to the teacher. The teacher came back and said, "You got detention. You're laughing too much." I literally got detention for laughing in the 11th grade, and 3 hours of detention. And I was just sitting there like, this is some bullshit. I got detention for running in school. At 16, I was on my way to class. I was late, and I wasn't full sprinting, but I was, in a rush. I got detention. Like a little kid running through class, like running through the halls. Like, I'm a 16-year-old, 6'4" black boy. I'm still a boy. I'm not a man yet, but I'm a young man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm running to get to class, and you're gonna give me detention, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Wait, you said you went to a private school, a private high school? Wait, let me see if I could top you with my private school, right? Mm-hmm. So, I went to a private school, but they drug tested. Did you just do that? They did a hair follicle test. So they cut a little bit here. And let me tell you how many times they just randomly selected me. And I put that in quotes, random, right? Wow. Yeah, they had this is the thing though, right? Y'all don't even know me, but like, I did go to a private school, and that didn't change my background of me being black and still going through struggle at home. And like, I got all the way up to my senior year with no issues. And eventually, I'm like, hey, I was going through some things. I could have been doing some worse things, right? But I was smoking, and they tested me, and eventually I would have to play cat and mouse because they were trying to put me out. And I was like, all this money my family has paid for me to be here and graduate here, I'm not getting put out. Like, it was supposed to be non-punitive, so they're supposed to help you and not punish you. But basically, I had an ultimatum, and, I was able to kind of play that game and end up graduating because I would just give them the runaround. At the school, when you were old enough, you could check yourself out. So I knew they were having a random drug test. I would just check myself out. I'm leaving, and I would never do it. But you see how crazy that is? Like, honestly, like, when I had a meeting when they first found out, because they never told my family. They're supposed to get your family involved to see, why are you so young having to resort to this measure of release, right? What is wrong? What are you going through? Nobody ever did that, right? But they would have to, do that. He never did. So I just kind of played that game with him. But it was sad because a lot of the kids from our school that were black, the very few ones that would always get put out. And probably because they had different disorders and addictions than I did. But I was like, it's crazy because, I graduated there with a 3.7, still missing like half the year leaving because I'm going through things in my own life. But I made sure to get my work done. And on the day I graduated, it was bittersweet for the principal because the words we had exchanged before then, and I finally came up and was like, I'm graduating. You got to give me my degree. It's the day. You're not going to put me out no more. And he going to say, well played. I know you didn't. Like, because I told him I was going to sue him. I said, baby, this is a breach of contract. You were supposed to help me. Now, either you going to let me graduate or I'm leaving up out of here with some of y'all bank. What you going to pick? Because think of the headlines. This school is private. Y'all drug test. And a student came to you with this disorder and issue, and you didn't help them, nor did you tell anybody. But like I said, it would have been a real bummer. But it was weird because, again, you know, things like Ashley Ann and Becky bread or whatever, they would be over here sending sexting with different people, get caught, and the school had a policy that anything that would make them look in a certain light, like getting pregnant or anything like that, because they're Catholic, they would put you out.
Yeah.
But somehow they wouldn't put them out. They would just suspend them from playing in next week's basketball game. So I was like, what?
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, if y'all don't know, I went to Notre Dame High School. That still doesn't give away where I live because they have multiple high schools. But you should know with that name right there.
Yeah.
And people be like, your school drug tested? They say I would have been put out.
My school wasn't Catholic, it was Republican.
Oh,
It was
Lord.
Protestant. It was Protestant Republican.
I guess
So
mine was Republican Catholic because they was still on the same crazy tip.
yeah, they like my school, they were run by lobbyists for Bush, the Bush administration, and they taught us that we were alive at the same time as the dinosaurs, that Earth is only 6,000 years old, which is really ridiculous because you know why they say that, right? Like now that I'm grown, I know why they say. They told us that Earth, since Pangea and everything, was 6,000 years old. If y'all know anything about, I want to say paleontology. No, that's dinosaurs. If you know anything about anthropology, you know anything about genetics, you know that Europeans came to be, the European phenotype came to be around then, around 6,000 years ago. So by their ideology, Earth started when they started. And I didn't realize that till I got older. But yeah.
That's actually my minor is anthropology with this because I figure it coincides very well with actually relating to a lot of the legal semantics that they have now. Like I'm with you because even looking at the history like of the police and various systems that still oppress us, I'm like, ain't no way y'all came up with this and was like, it's still supposed to benefit us. However, look at present day based on the past. It's still the same thing. But you're trying to convince me it's different. It's like the same people who come up with certain things to try to excuse the like heinous things they do in history. Like, oh well, they used to do that too, like it was, your ancestors' fault. They actually sold you guys to us. So, like what? What, bro?
It's crazy because after I graduated, like, I never heard from the people again, right? Like I know that happens to a lot of people, but I never heard from them again. That was it. And that's what you gotta, I'm never taking my son to a public school, but if, or I mean, a school where he's got to be in that environment. But those that have children in school, teach them that those people are not their friends. Don't let them be confused and thinking that those people are their friends. They're not. They're your classmates. And I started noticing, okay, I'm not talking to them no more. And then over the years, I started seeing more and more, disgusting things being said on Facebook, and I unfollowed some of them because they started having MAGA hats in their profile pictures, and as time went on, they started to truly reveal themselves to me, and then I started seeing even the girls that don't have the MAGA hats, that are always so cheerful and holy, they start unfollowing me, and I'm starting to see, okay, yeah, I think it's, as you get older, you start to see what team you're on, so you start having allegiance to that.
I saw that too. Like all the different kids that I did go to high school with that are now growing up, it's like they really are just becoming part of the status quo and becoming part of whatever the propaganda and agenda is at the time. And I see like now,
Yeah.
like it really confirms and affirms to me why I never had a space or a true place in there. Even when they say, "Oh,
Right.
we're a family. Oh, we care about you." They laugh at our jokes. Blah blah blah. You're the class clown. Like but they really did truly discount me as a person. They never saw me as one. And like, I'm like, now it's like, wow, y'all are really weird. Like, I don't care that y'all unfollow me or never listen to me. Like, I know where I'm going. Y'all are still lost on the track of whatever the world tells you to go, you know? But it's
Right.
just
Yeah,
weird.
that's true.
It really is. It's like they do stuff intentionally just to anger those around them. And like they try to make you feel small just because you don't have money. Like a lot of them at that school, because they were really, really rich. Like
That happened to me too.
they
Yeah.
literally tried to make me feel smaller about my circumstance, but I think it's hilarious because I'm like, baby, you had a 400-year head start. Why am I still close to you if I've had such disadvantage, you know? Like they be like, oh, you behind. Like, no, baby, I'm right where I need to be. You ahead then, if you want to put it that way. Looks like your peak is about to come and drop. Because if you're already up, the only place you can go is down. So, you know, but weird, you know, I feel you on that. I ain't know you went to a private school. Look, I didn't know. I thought
I met my wife at a private college. She went to Catholic school her whole life.
Ooh.
And then the school I met her at was a Catholic college. And that was interesting. Of course, I didn't finish, but I went. And I think the only reason that it benefited me was just the fact that I met the woman I'm now married to be honest.
Period.
Yeah, pretty much. But all right, y'all. I've got work to do. We've been up here an hour and a half now. I hate to keep cutting the live short, but ever since we've incorporated, there's literally things I have to do. They're not things I'm going to have to continuously do, but they're things that I have to do because if I don't do them, they won't get done. And I just have to do them once. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on the website. Once it's up, I'm not going to have to do it again for a little while, until we have time to improve it. But don't forget to donate to help us keep the lights on and help me pay for some of this stuff. $ bring down Babylon. If you have children that are young, if you have maybe appreciate y'all for the gifts. If y'all have a 1 or 2 year old child, then and you're thinking about homeschooling, or at least even if they go to regular school, you're thinking of giving them a resource where they'll be able to know more about their history, their culture, and their heritage. Somebody asked me if I'm a pretendian. Don't get fooled by the background. This was just a joke. We are Pan-African in here. So donate to bring down Babylon. It's tax deductible. So we're going to make a resource for your children to learn about the land history and culture going back thousands of years. If your child is 1 or 2, by the time they're ready to go to kindergarten, by the time they're ready to start learning how to read, probably around 3, we're going to have a whole website ready for them. So we're working on it now so that the future generation can benefit from it. Appreciate y'all for the gifts again. And don't forget to donate. I'm also going to have a subscription donation coming soon. That's what I got to go work on now. And also put it in your minds, Saturday, me and Timothy are going to have a live Saturday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. So that's 3 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 12 p.m. West Coast time, and I don't know nothing about Mountain Time. So best of luck to y'all. Somebody put Mountain. One Mountain Time. Okay, listen, ain't many of us in Mountain Time. Shout out to Black people in Mountain Time. Y'all be careful out there. But
can I ask you before we get off too? Did you happen to catch that Cat Williams interview in Club Shay Shay?
Yeah.
So you did. Yeah. So how'd you feel about that?
Did I make a video?
I haven't seen one.
What you do? No, that was on Twitter. I saw your comments on Twitter.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
Yeah, y'all gotta join Twitter. But Cat Williams, Cat Williams, he's close. I know he's no cigar because he's an entertainer, but he's close to being right a lot of the time, about certain things. But he's an entertainer. You know what I'm saying? He's an entertainer. You can't take him seriously.
I mean, some stuff I kind of agree with him on, but some stuff I still thought was indoctrination and anti-blackness because he still talk about he want to be God's best friend and the Bible is the greatest book written in the world. Right, I mean, brother, I said, hold on, baby. I think you got to miss me with that. And then he said women can't get men because they're too busy acting like men. And I was like, who is he pointing that comment at? Because historically, what do you mean by that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
what I noticed about him right now is he has realized it is popular. Anti-elitism. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's popular right now. That's the reason hip hop market share has declined in 2023. I feel like it's going to continue to decline. We are not celebrating Black excellence anymore. Black excellence is finally being unalived in front of us. I think the Black elites will be the first people to feel it when capitalism starts to fall and as anti-capitalist sentiment grows within the country. Those that feel betrayed by those that have benefited from capitalism in the Black community, they're going to be the first to fall. They're going to be the first to feel it. When the whole country turns against capitalism and those that are considered the elites, Black folks who have been at the bottom of capitalism are going to look to those that are at the top of our community as far as capitalism, and we're going to start to hold them more accountable. Cat Williams knows what's going on, and he's pointing to them so that we don't point to him. I've actually been to Cat Williams' house in Woodland Hills in Los Angeles. Very nice house. Cat Williams got some bread, y'all. So he's doing a good job at saying, look at them, like pointed at them, like look at them. They're hypocrites. And I think that's cool because we're witnessing Oprah catching flack for the Hawaii thing and the Taraji thing. We're witnessing Diddy going down. We're witnessing somebody had an allegation against Tyler Perry. What's his name? Black Santa. What's his name? What's Black Santa's name, y'all?
Ricky Smiley. Smiley.
No.
Oh, I
no.
Say he
okay, well, yeah, him.
You said Black Santa.
That's not who I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about the Walrus, Bishop Walrus.
Oh, Faison Love.
Jakes.
Oh,
TD Jakes. Yeah, he looked like a walrus.
Oh my God.
No, he not. No, he looked like a walrus.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, the way he walked around. Yeah, definitely. I just don't. I also was gonna say, even on that conversation, I also did not like. It's already problematic because he's a preacher of a Christian church. But the thing was like how he just tried to absolve himself of the allegations, talking about if I did it, all I got to do is ask for God to forgive me. That's kind of like saying, well, I did it, so what? God forgive me. Like you did, like he said that
thing. I was like, you just told on yourselves.
I was like, what?
I didn't hear him say that. And then I heard him say.
He keeps saying swallowed up. Like what's swallowed?
Have you ever been swallowed? Hey, I know what he's talking about, but I ain't no bishop. You know what I'm saying? I know exactly what he's talking about. That's why I don't know why these brothers got these snowflake women, because you know what I'm saying? She ain't got no lips. But anyway, yeah, so at the end of the day, I think the Black elites are starting to feel it, and that's a good thing. I hate all of those N-words just like Cat Williams do. So I despise them. I've been around them enough to know how that listen, y'all, it's bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no way you can have a soul and be at their level. No way. Absolutely no way.
I didn't realize they did Bernie Mac so terribly. Like, I knew people used to say stuff, but I didn't realize the extent. And he tried to like say it like, America, these people, like, he really did drop a few gems. Like, I'm like, but they, like, Hollywood is so convinced that Jonathan Majors is a good looking man, but Bernie Mac is ugly. I'm like, what?
Jonathan Majors was good looking.
Yeah, but that's what they said. He got them convinced
out there. Who said that?
Yeah.
Who said that?
I'm gonna be honest. The reason I first found out Jonathan Majors was like like getting famous was because on Twitter there was white T women saying he was ugly, and there was black women on Twitter defending him, saying he wasn't for y'all in the first place. And so I was like, ooh, okay, so he got the sisters.
I was
and
just
then
about
later
to.
on,
He got a nose job. Did you know he got a nose job? I was just about to say that too. Y'all know he got one, right?
I did not know that.
Enhanced. He wanted it to be more Afrocentric in the features, so he got a nose job. Y'all don't even know that.
No.
Yeah, I'm for real. He really did. For real. That's
Who
for
said
real.
this?
I'm pretty sure. I know he made a comment about it because I think it was something like he said he had broken it or something like that. But I mean, I understand. I guess if you get it broken, you can get it fixed, right? But either way, it's a nose job. It's a nose job. So, you know, like I'm for real.
He
I'm
got
for
a
real.
BBL on
I'm
his
so
nose?
for real,
Did
y'all.
you
Like,
not
look
see
it
his
up.
That's
interview?
crazy.
Did you see his interview with ABC? I firmly believe they set him up. They set him up. He like the interview and the way that he responded to those questions, he just sounded foolish.
Did you see his mouth? He kept doing all these mouth movements that made me uncomfortable.
Cause he trying to be Martin Luther King.
Man, Coretta is not a figure for him to dangle in front of folks.
The
Like,
crazy thing about that interview was that they brought up the text messages when he was texting the YT girlfriend saying, you know, why can't you be more like Coretta or Michelle Obama, right? But then at the very end of the interview, the interviewer brings up Megan Good, and the camera goes to her, and then he looks at her, and the camera goes back to him, and he says, "I finally got my Coretta." And I'm just like, they set this man up. They made him look so foolish. I don't even think he had a PR team. I don't know.
No, but you know what was more scary to me though? He tried to put Megan Good on a pedestal, called "That's my angel. She saved me. She came in and swooped in." And my thing is, that's scary because the only place an angel can fall is back down to earth. Like that, even in a statement in itself, like to be like the black woman came in and saved him. I was like, weird. And those people act like they've never PR'd for a black person. Yeah, I agree with you on that. That was his biggest show. He had to put that on to either say like he's a docile black man now, he's reformed, and for him to go get the ticket back into Hollywood. Because my thing is, how is he on the interview on ABC or the place that broadcasted it? But they are also owned by Disney and them. But yet
they put him in jail.
But that's what I'm saying. But he got fired by Marvel. They're owned by Disney, but it's still being an interview, the first one out under their same companies they own. Yeah. I'm like, what?
Yeah, what I feel like he did that. Like he was forced to do that. You know what I mean? Whether he did it on his own or whether they made him do that, I feel like for the sake of his career, he was forced to do that. But he'll never be viewed the same as he was. He'll never be viewed the same.
He going to jail.
Yeah, bruh.
Because you know how you know he going to jail? Because in that interview,
I hear you, brother legend.
Oh yeah, it went out. I better say I think that we can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
My bad.
Oh, there you go.
I was saying in that interview, it was more about like sympathy and remorse. I mean, it showed no remorse. So he's about to get sentenced. Before you get sentenced, you want to say, I did it. I'm sorry. He said, I didn't do it. Feel sorry for me. That's not going to go over well with the judge. He's going to get a harsher sentence.
Yeah, he's trying to get a misdemeanor assault charge. I said, baby, good luck. A misdemeanor?
He going to jail.
What's that boy name that did the Nat Turner movie? He gonna be like, I don't think we heard of that boy since then.
No. But you know what's wild is I didn't understand the details of the trial till I watched that interview, to the point where it literally is that he didn't respond right to what was going on with him. Like he didn't respond right. To me that's wild. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what Umar was saying was, it's just the reason he got convicted is literally because he responded the wrong way.
Yep, he should have just responded with remorse. He should have tried something better.
He should have just ran. He should have just ran the same way he was running them blocks. He should have had that energy when he met that girl, because she was only looking for a come up. He should have knew that from the start. She only looking for a come up, bro.
And Cat Williams did say they can ruin your life in 2 weekends, and so far he hasn't been wrong.
Yeah.
Not 2 weekends. And this is my thing too, when he said that. He said, I love all women, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm not scared of white women. I said, bruh, what?
You know who's gonna have the sweetest downfall? And remember, I'm saying this at the top of 2024. The sweetest downfall to watch is going to be Kanye West. Kanye West is gonna blow it so bad. I just seen a video of his wife walking around with floss on her titties.
Yes.
Yo, saw that, bro. I was scared. How do you walk around with that much hopes and prayers in your bra? Cause that wasn't even what is that little patch that the Neanderthals used to wear on their crotch that they used to say?
That's all plastic. You don't need no hope for that plastic.
I don't know.
She's gonna bring him down. She's gonna bring him down. She gonna own him. Cause all of this stuff that she was walking barefoot in the video. What's going on with him? She's gonna say is abuse. It was part of her abuse. He was grooming her. She's gonna play it up and take him for his bread. I mean, maybe he has a prenup, but that wouldn't matter in a lawsuit.
Prenup can only protect you against some civil downfall. It can't protect you against criminal. Right. And that would be much worse than the civil. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Abuse and those factors, he better ask Jonathan Majors.
Yeah. No, but she's only there. She's only there for one reason. The same reason that they all come around these wealthy black men. Mm-hmm. She's there to get the bag. She's there to secure the bag and bring it back to her community. That's the only reason they send them in. So that's what she's gonna do, and it's gonna be sad. It's not gonna be sad. It's gonna be of epic proportions. It's going to be a big reality check, but he might not ever see reality again, to be honest. But let me go, y'all. I've got things I got to do, and I got work tomorrow, so I got to go to bed. So I got to do this before I go to bed. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back up tomorrow. One love. I love the lives, but understand that I got work to do for my people. Coming on here and talking to y'all is part of that work. I love talking to y'all, but when I have real world work to do, I gotta go do that. You feel me? Thank you for all the gifts, and don't forget to donate. Bring down Babylon. Send $1, send $5. I don't care. Send a penny. Just send something. And for those in the Discord, I will catch y'all tomorrow. One love. Peace.
Thank you. Can you make sure that it gets fixed for mine on the Discord? Because I can't see the stuff, or y'all can't see me.
Yeah, I got you.
Hop in the tub before you hop in Black Business.
That's right. Hop in the tub before you hop in Black Business.